What if I told you that the latest software update from Samsung isn't just another routine patch, but rather a quiet signal that something much larger is about to unfold? What if One UI 8.5 has just silently resolved one of the most irritating issues that millions of Galaxy users have been grappling with, often without even realizing that the fault lay in the software itself? It is easy to overlook these subtle shifts when we are constantly bombarded with headlines about new hardware, revolutionary camera sensors, or foldable screens that defy physics. However, the true mark of a mature technology ecosystem is not always found in the flashy announcements made on grand stages, but in the meticulous, almost invisible work done behind the scenes to ensure that the device in your hand simply works as it should. This latest beta update, specifically version 8.5 Beta 6, might be revealing Samsung's broader, more strategic plan for the entire Galaxy lineup in the coming year. We are not just looking at a list of bug fixes here. We are potentially witnessing the final, critical step before a major transition occurs. Before we dive deep into the technical nuances and what this means for your daily interaction with your device, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, Tech Gadget. By doing so, you ensure that you never miss a beat in the fast-paced world of technology, receiving daily updates that cut through the noise and deliver the insights that actually matter to you as a user. Samsung has officially pushed out One UI 8.5 Beta 6, and while the initial reaction from the community might be tempered by the lack of headline-grabbing features, a closer inspection reveals that this update could be far more significant than the brief changelog suggests. Welcome back to Tech Gadget, where our mission is to break down complex technological updates into clear, actionable information that resonates with real-world usage. We do not just read the press releases, we analyze the implications. Now, here is the fascinating part of the development cycle that often goes unnoticed by the average consumer. When a major technology company, like Samsung, shifts its focus from introducing flashy, experimental features to aggressively polishing small bugs and refining existing interfaces, it usually signals one definitive thing: the stable release is imminent. This is a pattern we have observed across multiple generations of Android skins and iOS updates. The phase of wild experimentation gives way to a phase of rigorous stabilization. Based on everything currently happening around Samsung's latest flagship launches and the rhythm of their software deployment, the timing of this specific beta release could not be more strategic. It feels like the calm before the storm, or perhaps more accurately, the final tuning of the engine before the race begins. This new One UI 8.5 Beta 6 update arrives with a file size of approximately 565 megabytes. In the grand scheme of modern software updates, this is a moderate size, substantial enough to carry meaningful code changes but not so large as to suggest a complete overhaul of the operating system core. While it retains the February security patch, which is standard procedure for maintaining device safety against emerging threats, the real story here is hidden within the refinements. Samsung has clearly focused its engineering efforts on stability, interface consistency, and the polishing of features that were quietly misbehaving behind the scenes. These are the kinds of improvements that do not make for exciting marketing videos, but are absolutely crucial for user satisfaction. When an app crashes less frequently, when an animation stutters one time less, or when a setting saves correctly on the first try, the cumulative effect is a device that feels premium, reliable, and trustworthy. This intense focus on refinement tells us that we are likely entering the final phase before the public rollout begins. If you are currently enrolled in the beta program, you should already see this update available for download on your compatible devices. For those who are not part of the beta testing community, patience will be key. Based on historical timelines and the current progression of the beta cycles, mid to late March could very well be the window when the stable version of One UI 8.5 begins its global rollout. This timeline allows Samsung to gather final data from beta testers, address any last-minute critical issues, and prepare their servers for the massive influx of downloads that accompanies a stable release. Now, let us shift our focus to what actually changed in this update, because amidst the general improvements, one specific fix stands out as particularly significant. For some time now, users who enjoy customizing their digital assistants have faced a frustrating roadblock within the Bixby Labs environment. Specifically, the Create Wake Up phrase feature was fundamentally broken. Users could navigate to the settings, attempt to record and save a custom trigger phrase to wake up their assistant, But the process would invariably fail during the setup stage. The system would either not recognize the input or simply refuse to save the new command, reverting to the default settings. This is a pretty big deal when you consider the context of Samsung's recent moves. Over the past few months, Samsung has been quietly but persistently pushing for greater Bixby customization, aiming to make the assistant more personal and integrated into the user's workflow. A broken core feature like custom wake phrases undermines that entire initiative. With the arrival of Beta 6, that issue has finally been resolved. You can now create a completely custom wake phrase, speak it clearly, and watch as the system successfully saves and activates it. This may seem like a small, niche improvement to some, but it signals a major shift in strategy. It indicates that Samsung is actively refining its AI assistant experience, rather than abandoning it or leaving it in a state of disrepair. This is especially interesting given how heated the competition has become in the realm of artificial intelligence across Android devices. Every major manufacturer is vying to prove that their AI is smarter, faster, and more adaptable. By fixing this foundational element, Samsung is laying the groundwork for more advanced voice interactions in the future. It suggests that they are preparing the infrastructure for a more robust AI ecosystem, where personalized commands could play a central role in how we interact with our phones, tablets, and potentially even their broader smart home network. Another subtle but undeniably important fix in this update involves the Gallery application, specifically its sketch conversion tool. For those who use their Galaxy devices for creative work or note-taking, the ability to convert hand-drawn sketches into polished images is a powerful feature. However, in previous builds, a visual glitch plagued this tool. When users attempted to convert images, duplicate buttons labeled "Previous Image" would appear on the interface. While this might sound like a trivial cosmetic error, it represents a breach in the fluid design language that Samsung strives to maintain. One UI has always prided itself on clean lines, intuitive layouts, and a sense of visual harmony. When duplicate elements clutter the screen, it breaks that immersion and makes the software feel unfinished or buggy. In Beta 6, this issue has been fully resolved. The interface is now clean, with only the necessary controls visible, allowing the user to focus on their creativity rather than fighting the UI. Small UI cleanups like this are often the hallmark of a software team that is paying attention to the details. It suggests that Samsung is polishing the entire ecosystem, ensuring that every app, every menu, and every interaction meets a high standard of quality before pushing the update to millions of users worldwide. It is these minute corrections that separate a good user experience from a great one. When everything looks and feels intentional, the technology fades into the background, allowing you to accomplish your tasks without distraction. The always-on display, a feature that has become synonymous with the Samsung Galaxy experience, also received notable refinements in this beta build. The always-on display is designed to provide glanceable information throughout the day without requiring the user to fully wake the device. It shows the time, date, notifications, and other relevant data while keeping power consumption to an absolute minimum. In previous versions, there were reported issues regarding text icons and visibility, particularly concerning the Now bar and various recommendation cards. Sometimes, text would appear slightly clipped, or icons would not align perfectly with their labels, leading to a somewhat messy appearance. In Beta 6, these visibility issues have been significantly improved. The text rendering is sharper, the alignment is precise, and the overall legibility has been enhanced. If you rely on glancing at your phone to check the time or see an incoming message while it is resting on your desk, these improvements matter immensely. They transform the experience from feeling somewhat experimental or rough around the edges to feeling truly premium. Smooth animations and consistent visibility reinforce the perception of quality. When the always-on display looks flawless, it adds a layer of sophistication to the device, reminding you constantly that you are holding a piece of high-end technology. It is a testament to the idea that no detail is too small when it comes to the user interface. Speaking of smoothness, Samsung has also dedicated resources to improving the notification card animations. These are the micro-interactions that occur when a new notification arrives, when you swipe one away, or when you expand a group of alerts. Most users do not consciously notice these animations until they are laggy or stuttery. When they work perfectly, they feel invisible, contributing to a sense of fluidity and responsiveness. However, when they drop frames or hesitate, the entire device can feel sluggish, regardless of how powerful the processor underneath might be. In One UI 8, 5 Beta 6, these micro animations have been refined to feel more natural and fluid. The transitions are smoother, the timing feels more organic, and the response to touch input is instantaneous. This level of polish is crucial for maintaining the illusion of a seamless digital environment. It ensures that the software feels alive and reactive, enhancing the overall tactile experience of using the phone. Furthermore, there was a persistent bug causing the system to force close when users attempted to change certain display settings that were tied to camera area adjustments. This was a disruptive issue that could interrupt workflow and cause frustration. That bug has now been resolved, meaning that stability within the system settings menu has been markedly improved. Users can now tweak their display preferences with confidence, knowing that the system will handle the changes gracefully without crashing. In addition to these fixes, lock screen style inconsistencies within the modes and routines feature have been corrected. Modes and routines allow users to automate their device behavior based on context, such as switching to a driving mode when connected to a car Bluetooth, or a sleep mode at night. Previously, when these modes activated, there were instances where the lock screen style would not update correctly, leading to a mismatch between the intended aesthetic and what was actually displayed. For users who rely on custom routines for work, driving, or sleep, this inconsistency could be confusing and detract from the utility of the feature. With Beta 6, these transitions are now much cleaner. The lock screen adapts instantly and accurately to the active mode, providing a cohesive visual experience that matches the functional changes happening in the background. This attention to detail ensures that the automation features work not just logically, but visually as well, creating a unified experience that feels thoughtful and well integrated. However, the story of One UI 8, 5 Beta 6 goes beyond just the list of fixed bugs. Here is where things get genuinely interesting for those who like to dig beneath the surface. When we compare system app versions across different devices running One UI 8, 5, we notice a peculiar trend. In some cases, the beta builds actually contain newer versions of certain system applications than what is found on devices that have recently launched with the stable software. For example, specific builds of the camera application and the gallery app in the beta environment appear to be more updated and feature-rich than those on the latest flagships currently in the hands of consumers. This observation suggests a significant shift in how Samsung is managing its software deployment. It implies that Samsung is finalizing application builds separately from the main firmware builds. Traditionally, apps and firmware were tightly coupled, released together in a single massive package. But this decoupling suggests that app-level updates may soon roll out independently, much like how Google updates its Play services or how individual apps update via the Play Store. This approach allows for faster iteration and quicker delivery of fixes and features without waiting for a full system update cycle. It is a more agile method of software maintenance that could greatly benefit users by reducing wait times for critical improvements. Despite these advancements in app modularity, one thing has notably remained unchanged in this beta cycle: the Google Play System Update version. For many devices participating in this beta, the Play System Update remains stuck on the November build. This is somewhat surprising, especially when considering that other Android devices from different manufacturers have already moved on to newer Play System patches. The Google Play System updates are crucial because they deliver security fixes and functionality improvements to core components of the Android operating system without requiring a full OS update. The fact that Samsung is holding back on this front could indicate a strategic decision. It is possible that Samsung is waiting for full global firmware synchronization before pushing updated Play components. They may want to ensure that the new One UI 8, 5 stable release is perfectly aligned with a specific version of the Play services to avoid any compatibility conflicts or unforeseen bugs. Once the stable version of 8, 5 launches publicly and gains traction, we may see those system-level updates follow in quick succession, bringing the security and functionality up to date in a coordinated wave. This cautious approach highlights the complexity of managing software for a diverse range of devices across different regions and carriers. It underscores the responsibility Samsung feels to ensure that every update is stable and reliable before it reaches the end user. So, what does all of this technical analysis mean for you, the everyday user? Beta 6 feels less like a traditional feature update and more like a critical stability checkpoint. There is no flashy redesign to boast about, no surprise features to generate clickbait headlines. Instead, what we are seeing is a concerted effort to tighten screws, smooth edges, and eliminate friction. Historically, this is exactly what happens right before a stable release drops. It is the final polish applied to a sculpture before it is unveiled to the world. If Samsung follows its usual pattern, which they have done consistently for years, we could see the official One UI 8.5 stable rollout begin within a matter of weeks. The machinery is in motion, and the pieces are falling into place. And once the rollout starts, expect a phased regional expansion. Typically, the newest flagships receive the update first, as they have the most powerful hardware to support the latest features and serve as the showcase devices for the brand. Following the flagships, the update will trickle down to premium mid-range devices, and eventually, older eligible models will receive their turn. This staggered approach allows Samsung to monitor server loads and catch any region-specific issues before they affect the entire global user base. Now, here is the big question that we want to pose to you, our valued community. Are you noticing smoother animations after installing this update? Has your battery life shown any signs of improvement? It is important to remember that beta stability phases often bring subtle battery optimization changes that are never explicitly listed in the patch notes. Engineers may tweak background processes, adjust screen refresh rate algorithms, or refine power management profiles to squeeze out extra efficiency. These changes are rarely announced, but can have a profound impact on daily usability. From everything we are seeing in the code and experiencing in the hands-on testing, One UI 8.5 is shaping up to be one of Samsung's most refined incremental updates. It is not revolutionary in the sense that it reinvents the wheel or introduces a completely new paradigm of computing. Instead, it is evolutionary. It takes what was already good and makes it better, more reliable, and more pleasant to use. But sometimes, evolution is exactly what users need. In a tech landscape obsessed with the next big thing, there is immense value in fewer crashes, smoother transitions, reliable AI features, and cleaner system behavior. These are the qualities that define a daily driver, a device you can depend on for work, communication, and entertainment without fear of it letting you down. If you are currently running the beta version on your device, we strongly encourage you to install this latest update and put it through its paces. Test your Bixby wake phrase again, see if it finally saves and responds as expected. Try tweaking your lock screen styles within different modes and routines to see if the transitions are seamless. Watch the notification animations carefully as you swipe and tap. Look for that newfound fluidity. These are the small details that reveal whether Samsung is truly ready for prime time. Your feedback as a beta tester is invaluable. It helps identify edge cases that internal testing might miss and ensures that the final stable release is as polished as possible. Every report, every observation contributes to the quality of the software that millions will eventually use. This is the collaborative nature of the beta program, and it is a vital part of the modern software development lifecycle. At Tech Gadget, we are committed to continuing our tracking of every development as One UI 8.5 moves closer to its stable release. We understand that technology moves fast, and staying informed can be challenging. That is why we strive to provide content that balances education, realistic storytelling, practical lessons, logical insights, engagement, and curiosity. We want to retain your attention not with sensationalism, but with genuine value and clarity. Our goal is to make complex technical topics accessible to everyone, from the seasoned tech enthusiast to the beginner who just wants their phone to work better. We believe in a calm, confident, and professional tone that respects your intelligence and your time. We avoid the drama and the hype, focusing instead on the facts and the practical implications for your life. As we move forward, we will keep a close eye on the transition from beta to stable, analyzing the full changelog, testing the performance on various devices, and exploring any hidden features that may emerge once the software is widely deployed. Stay tuned to our channel, because the next update might not just be the stable release we are all waiting for. It might unlock even more hidden improvements that Samsung has not talked about yet. There is always the possibility of surprise features being enabled server-side or new capabilities appearing once the final build is installed on a wider array of hardware. The journey of One UI 8.5 is far from over, and the best parts might still be ahead of us. We invite you to join us on this journey, to share your experiences in the comments, and to engage with the content that matters to you. Whether it is discussing the nuances of UI changes, debating the merits of different device designs, analyzing camera improvements, or exploring the long-term user experience of these devices, Tech Gadget is your home for insightful and research-based technology coverage. We focus on what truly enhances your interaction with technology, from display technology breakthroughs to material choices that improve durability, and from magnetic accessories that expand functionality to device compatibility that ensures your ecosystem works together harmoniously. In conclusion, One UI 8.5 Beta 6 is a testament to the power of iteration and refinement. It reminds us that great software is not built in a single leap, but through countless small steps of improvement. It shows that Samsung is listening to user feedback, addressing pain points, and striving for excellence in the details. As we stand on the brink of the stable release, the anticipation builds. The foundation has been laid, the bugs have been squashed, and the path is clear. The future of the Galaxy experience is looking brighter, smoother, and more intelligent than ever before. Thank you for watching, and for being a part of the Tech Gadget community. If you found this deep dive informative and helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us continue to produce high-quality content that keeps you informed and engaged. And remember, keep an eye on your device for that stable update notification. It might arrive sooner than you think. Until next time, stay curious, stay updated, and enjoy the technology that powers your world. We will be here waiting with the next breakdown, ensuring you are always ahead of the curve in the ever-evolving landscape of tech gadgets and software innovations. The revolution may not always be loud. Sometimes, it is just a quiet update that makes everything work a little bit better. And that, in itself, is a victory worth celebrating.